welcome back to Live on Bowen. Now, believe it or not, it's estimated that 1 in 4 people in the world have seen one of the Harry Potter films. Not really, I just made that up. But if it were true, that would mean that 1 in 4 people would know about Quidditch, the sport of wizards, which incorporates a variety of balls and sticks. Now, to find out about it and more, Heyman and Dilrook spent a magical morning with the Victorian Quidditch Association. Expelliarmus!
Rob, it's a well-known fact that you are a nerd. A nerd who is a little bit lanky and lacking in muscle tone. Well, guess what? We have discovered the perfect sport for you. Quidditch! A game that was made famous by Harry Potter and his merry band of wizards. It's been adapted for us mere mortals. Or should I say, muggles. Today, we're out and about with the Victorian Quidditch Association, whereby we're attempting to channel our inner wizard. Quidditch is a game which is part brains, part brawn, and this contact sport is certainly not for the faint-hearted. Quidditch has been described as a mix between rugby, croquet, dodgeball and basketball, and is played with the same rules as Hogwarts.
Each team has 7 players, 3 chasers, 2 beaters, 1 keeper and the seeker. There are 3 kinds of balls. This one's called the quaffle. Now the chasers handle the quaffle and try to put it through one of those 3 hoops. The keeper, that's me, defends the hoops.
And then there's the snitch, which in the world of wizardry is a little golden ball that flies around the pitch at random.
What do I do with it?
You catch it before the other team's seeker. You catch this, the game is over.
So how do these guys do it?
Well, the snitch is a big difference. They're a person.
Yeah.
They've got a tennis ball in a sock attached to the back of their pants, so we just run around and try and...
And then there is a small issue of flying. Sadly, these mortals have their feet planted firmly on the ground. Wait a minute. Well, what am I doing on this then?
That's a really popular question, actually.
Yeah. You get asked so long. You play Quidditch? Do you fly?
Yeah.
We get that a lot.
How the game of Quidditch has transferred from the world of Harry Potter into real life.
Well, we don't fly for one, although we do run pretty fast. If you get past that, and that's sort of the hardest thing to wrap your head around, you can sort of kind of start to imagine what it's like. So 3 chasers, 2 beaters, a keeper and a seeker, basically all competing for separate balls in order to win the game. So 3 chasers basically playing handball. They go for the quaffle, try to score goals. Beaters, they dodgeball, hitting the other team, knocking them out. Keeper, as in any sport, and the seeker is the small hide-and-seek element.
Today, we have a match between 2 Melbourne-based teams, the Blackburn Basilisks and the Raspberts. Capes might be optional, but broomsticks are certainly mandatory. So, who is more likely to play Quidditch? Harry Potter fans or sports junkies?
It's a bit of both.
I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
I love sports and I also love Harry Potter. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We have a few sports junkies on our team, some of the bigger guys, but some of us more nerdy ones.
Yeah.
We're the HP fans.
Right, I think the stigma attached to the Quidditch is one thing that is potentially a disadvantage to the game, but it's also something that's a really positive thing for the game because it's really all-inclusive. If you're not from a sporting background, you can play Quidditch and you can get in there and have a good time.
The Victorian Quidditch Association has 2 come and try events each month, so that novices like Dill and I can come and give it a whirl.
I got 99 problems, but a snitch ain't one. So it's Sunday morning, my body's sore, I think we lost. My hair is sore, my back is sore, my eyebrows hurt so much right now.
Despite being ambitious, chaotic, and just downright daring, Quidditch is ultimately about teamwork and getting in touch with your inner wizard. So really, it's the perfect sport for you, Rob.
I could totally play that. I would totally rock that. Now, here's someone who I'll miss as much as I miss having gastro. With Dilruk's Dilemmas, it's Dilruk Jayasinha!
Why, thank you, dear Robert. I'm in such a great mood tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because this pointy git is leaving. The producers of this show have finally made one smart decision by putting their collective 4 brain cells together. That's right, they're filling this comedy cavity with some platinum Jayasinha, crowning me as the new host of Live and Blowing, or whatever this show is called. So, in celebration, barkeep, some of the fancy stuff this week, please. Passion pop. Fair enough. So the dilemma this week is, what am I going to do with this dump now that I'm in charge? Well, the first thing's obvious. I'm going to put Aaron out of his misery. I think it's just cruel that week in and week out they make him use words to communicate. Heyman will stay on, but she'll have a weekly segment called Iron Chef, where she gets 3 minutes to iron my clothes and cook me a meal. Not because she's a woman, but because she has no other talent. I'm not a monster. We will no longer have guest interviews. Instead, you lucky dogs, you get to ask me like a little Q&A. So right now, take an opportunity, ask me any question at all.
Why are you such a self-centered douche?
Oh, I didn't think national hero is a bit of a stretch. But, yeah, no, I wouldn't use that, but thank you, madam. Moving on. We're not going to have musical guests anymore. Instead,
Sorry, are you Dilruk Jayasinha?
No. I'm the Dilruk Jayasinha.
Right. Well, there's a call for you on the Channel 31 phone.
You've struck platinum. What? Hello? Terrible reception. I think it's Vodafone. Sorry, it sounded like you said I am not going to be the new host. Aaron? Well, I promised my therapist that I wouldn't lose it and have another incident. So let me go to my happy place. Play my meditation music.
I like your pants around your feet.
Okay, I guess I'll focus on the positives. I still get to work with an amazing cast and crew. Look, this is ridiculous. This is a terrible mistake. They didn't even get to hear my idea of a wet t-shirt conference. I'm gonna call them back. Barkeep, get me the president of Channel 31. It's ringing. Hello? Is that Mr. 31? Well, where is he? Centrelink? Well, fine, put me on to his assistant. How dead are we talking? That's pretty dead. Right, look, can you take a message for me instead? Hang on, what do you mean you're going through a tunnel? Well, I guess I can't afford this anymore. Barkeep, the usual, please. C'est la vie. Back to my happy place.
It is a brave man who admits that he has Nickelback and Bewitched in his head. Now, our next guest is one of Australia's favourite comedians, here to give us 3.5 minutes of an insight into the strange world that we live in. Please welcome Phil Andrews!
Thanks, guys. Thanks. What's news? What's news? I love that phrase. It's an easy welcome phrase. It's always a safe answer. What's news? Oh, new jumper. You never get a wild answer. What's news? I'm racist now. I do enjoy phrases, though. Like one of my friends, when describing herself, will often say, oh, I've got long legs and a long body. Long legs. You don't have either of those. You're just tall. But my girlfriend actually likes my glasses. She tells me I need to wear them. I agree, because I can't see without them. But she says, you look good with them. You look sexy with them, Phil. Yeah, because there's nothing like blindness to make you look sexy. It's like, yeah, I'm thinking of developing a lisp as well. Will that be okay? A lisp, a sexy lisp. Is that okay? So now I'm single. But relationships are hard. One of the things that we did was we decided to be open and honest with each other about our past relationships. And guys, if you ever want to feel crap about yourself, ask your girlfriend about all of her ex-boyfriends. I did this and I got like ex-SAS trooper, a bull rider, and a national basketballer. All I had was a Bunnings worker, Krispy Kreme worker, and a waitress. So yeah, it's interesting being single because you can tell what all of your friends think of you by the type of women they try to set you up with. It's like, I've got a couple of friends who are like, oh, Phil, you got to meet this woman. She's a real babe. She's a real babe. Who here remembers the movie Babe? But Will and Kate had a bouncing baby boy. That's exciting, isn't it? Yeah. I get excited whenever anyone has a baby because I want to have children one day. I just get excited about it. And I wasn't always like that. I used to be afraid of having children because I was afraid I wouldn't know how to look after them properly. As an example, I used to have, a few years ago, I had a pet canary just in case they ever got stuck down a mine shaft. But I forgot to feed it for a few days and I came home one night and found it dead at the bottom of its cage. And I was like worried that if I had a child, I'd be the same. I'd forget to feed him for a while, come home and find him dead at the bottom of his cage. But the reason I feel like this is because I had an amazing childhood. Who here by a round of applause has a younger brother or sister? Yeah. I got a younger brother, and when they're young, they believe anything you say. Anything. I once convinced my little brother that if he ran at a wall fast enough, he'd go through it like Harry Potter. The only thing funnier than seeing him bounce off at once was seeing him take a longer run up, because I convinced him he's not using enough magic. And one of my favourite things when I was a kid was I'd take words and mash them together so they didn't really mean anything, but use them as insults. I don't know if you've ever done that or had that done to you. As an example, my little 5-year-old cousin once called me a caca poo-poo head. And I was wounded on the inside. I was like, you can't say that. I couldn't really tell her off. And I'm just like, you can't say that. Your parents didn't even want you. That's all from me. Have a good night.